Welcome to Serial Killer. I'm Maria Spertolozzi.
I'm Anastasia Washington, and you're listening to the podcast where we pair true crime with cereal.
Yeah, and sometimes other breakfast foods, but mostly just like, we did oatmeal on last week's episode, which isn't but like
cereal. It's a hot cereal.
Oh, that's right. I always forget that hot cereal exists.
Oh, I'm so
that's
sorry.
like a whole category of thing in life.
I was like, wait, it's still a cereal. It has
because there's
cereal. Cream of
wheat,
grits, all that stuff. There's some stuff out there, but we're back to the OG
normal
today.
Cold milk cereal.
What our normal is, even though I think hot cereal came out before. What you know? What?
It's really not important.
Listen, it's very important, actually. Let me just get on my stool and
get into the history of cereal.
But today we're going. I don't know. I'm a little scared.
Of which part?
All of it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very well aware of what we're getting in for the murder, but I'm not very well aware of what we're getting into for the cereal.
So this week it's we're doing Karla Homolka.
Sure.
I think I listened to this podcast, Morbid. It was a very good podcast. And that's how they pronounced it on there, so I'm going to go with that. And Paul, something with a D, I didn't really care. Bernardo, never mind, didn't have a D.
Paul Bernardo.
But the Ken and Barbie killers.
Right. They did not kill Ken and Barbie.
No.
We can get into that later.
We will explain that. But, so, my inspiration was the Ken and Barbie killers, although I did send a photo to my boyfriend and of the cereal aisle at Walmart today, and he was like, "Oh, you should pick Honey Buns because it's a couple."
Oh.
And I was like, "That's weird," but anyway. So Barbie used to have a cereal in like the 80s and 90s, and then it got revamped in the 2000s as Barbie's like fairy tale magic. I don't know, some like fairy cereal with Barbie on it. So I bought this Kelloggs Unicorn Cereal.
and it's supposed to taste like
supposed
a unicorn.
To taste like, yes, like magic cupcakes, which is what I assume unicorns taste like. You know, it also says it's naturally flavored to be magic cupcake flavored, which I don't believe.
You know, the unicorn thing is interesting to me. Like, unicorns, mythology-wise, are like very scary, strong creatures.
Yes.
The national animal of Scotland is a very scary unicorn. So this is not the
this nice cereal. Yeah, there's a coloring page on the back, which like I don't hate. That's a terrifying smell, right? It's like the donuts. One of them smelled like cake batter. I don't remember which one. But one of them smelled like cake batter, and this one is just like sickly sweet.
Sickly sweet. I don't know quite what I'm smelling, to be honest, but it's not great. But I'm gonna do a little bit of a
take a handful.
Did I get one of each flavor?
I don't know if they're different, so I don't know if it matters.
Oh shoot. I mean, I don't know why I corrected myself like we don't curse on this podcast. Why am I getting so many? I just want this. I want one of each. Okay.
I can't tell if it's because I burned my tongue yesterday, or if these are just bland. They just taste like sweet.
They don't have a lot of flavor dry. So, let's pour it in. Is that gross? Did I just say something gross? Maybe. Oh my god, there's something on the... Oh.
Yeah, it's a coloring page.
No, but no.
Oh.
What's your unicorn name?
Your unicorn name. Yeah, my unicorn name sucks.
Okay, my unicorn name is Mystic Starshine Blazer.
Yeah, Starshine Blazer is not a good one, and so mine's Violet Starshine Blazer, because we're both born in November.
We're in the same family.
But also, Starshine Blazer, come on guys.
It kind of sounds like something you'd wear in a Ryan Murphy. Oh shit, sorry.
That's fine. Now I have to eat all of it, because those are the rules.
The rules
We've never established.
We never established that, and I would never hold
Well,
that.
that'd be terrible.
Nope.
That's
food
some like
shame.
toxic eating, yeah.
I have a very I'm trying to get a very positive food relationship and dialogue. All right. I'm just gonna.
I wonder if this will turn the milk like purple.
I mean, one can not hope.
Does it taste like cereal? How does it taste? I feel like it's bad.
It doesn't have a lot of taste.
It's just bland. All right, here we go.
I just chewed into it. I'm so sorry, you guys. Right? What does it taste like?
Yeah, there's nothing.
It tastes like empty calories.
At least cake tastes good.
It does. Also, when you say magic cupcake and when you say cupcake batter, all that, like, there's a bazillion different kinds of cakes. What is this generic cake we talk?
Vanilla, boring. It's so bad. It's like, this is bad cereal.
I just really
Don't
want to
buy
drink the
this.
milk.
And just let all of the sugar dissolve and drink the milk. This is gross.
You know, because of the colors and stuff, I really assumed it was going to be like Fruit Loops.
I thought so too.
Which was exciting for me.
Yeah. No. So my backup was there was a mermaid cereal, but that felt like too far in a different direction.
When we do the Merman Killer.
There we go.
I'm just kidding. There's no Merman Killer, but
There might be. We just don't know it yet.
Now that I've said that, don't go committing murders in the style of mermaids
To be the merman killer.
so that we have to eat that cereal. Like, I don't want to motivate you or give you ideas.
Yeah, no, and then there was like a wizard one, but that and I was like, there's so many occult murders that like we can't.
Yeah, we can't
tell.
load on that.
This was the Ken and Barbie killers, but also I was like staring at all the cereal and was like, what says violent murder and rape? What cereal?
Unicorn.
Just says violent murder and rape.
Kellogg's Unicorn Cereal.
It was Kellogg's Unicorn Cereal.
So I'm gonna give it a knife down.
Yeah, all around knife down. This is
for everything.
just in general. Whole vibe is bad.
Except for your unicorn name.
Except for this box. This
Which
box is everything.
I think we'll post it on our social media so that you can tell us your unicorn name.
Yes, everyone pick your but like find out your unicorn.
I mean, it
name.
also has like an amazing
this fun coloring page.
thing.
Yeah, which I assume you would need
Some kind of marker.
Sharpie markers or something more permanent. Because I remember trying to color on this stuff, waxed, fucking cardboard.
This is not gonna be great. But
that's fine because I'm an adult and I own my own alcohol marker.
That's true.
So
we can we'll definitely put up what your unicorn name is, and I would like to hear it. I want you to respond with your unicorn name. So let's talk.
So now we'll just
the horrible murder.
Yeah, this is a bad one. This is
right?
like we haven't. Like the Vampire of Sacramento was gross,
right?
But it wasn't like this
bad,
violent. Yeah.
I remember hearing about it.
About the Ken and Barbie
about the
killers.
Well, I just remember when the movie came out with Laura Prepon. Do I say her name right? Laura Prepon.
Prepon, yeah.
And she was Karla, and oh God, what's his name that plays? He's from Supernatural. He plays the angel. Anyway.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about.
I think that isn't it him? Maybe it's not.
No.
I don't know. Sometimes white people look alike. Just kidding.
But all of the Chris's are the same person.
Shut your mouth. They are not.
They're not. But
there are some better and some worse.
There are. White people are all the same.
No. But yeah, I might be confusing him. But I think it is.
Anyway.
And I remember thinking, wow, Canada, jeez. And that one, and since we're doing things weird, the last episode,
I
definitely mentioned Dear Zachary. And this one, Karla's whole situation, I think it made me very scared about, like, we always talk about our justice system and how bad it is, but then I, with Dear Zachary and Karla, found out that I have little faith in Canada.
And yeah. So we'll get into it. It's Karla, Homolka, and Bernardo
Very attractive couple.
They're very conventionally attractive, like blonde hair, blue-eyed. Their wedding photos are really cute for the 80s.
In that way.
Her dress is,
big, fluffy.
Everything is giant, and there's a lot of ruffles and bows, and it's not my scene, but...
She's, like, super skinny, but everything's fluffy,
yeah.
So it's like, what's the point of losing weight if you're gonna have so much fluff on you? Just eat. You know what I mean? That's just my point. Sorry.
So... Anyway, so it's the 80s.
You're welcome for ruining that.
It's the late 80s, and Karla is, like, on the surface, like, a normal, well-adjusted person.
Right.
She has, like, a normal family. She has an older sister and a younger sister. And she meets this dude, Paul Bernardo, who has gained a reputation, but without it actually being attached to, like, him personally yet,
right.
as the Scarborough rapist, and that the police are after, who I think allegedly rapes 24 women before being found out as the, like, Ken and Barbie
right.
killer, and that is all just him in this one fucked up situation.
Right.
But so then Karla starts dating him,
which is my nightmare about dating. Let's just face that.
So, he'd already been raping girls for, like, 2 years before which, listen, that's not her fault, right? No.
Right.
But, like,
the rest of it,
it's like, how do you enter into a relationship with someone and then are like, oh, it's, I just have to, like, go night running. Like, because he would, like, go and attack these women, like, at bus stops and, like, trying to get into their homes and stuff at night.
But we don't know everything our partner does.
It's true.
You know, your boyfriend's going out with his friends.
Yeah.
You never know. Okay, I'm not saying I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that it's easy for us to like, step back and go, I would know.
That's true. It also was the late 80s where cell phones weren't a thing. The internet wasn't a thing. Like, you didn't have all these ways of, like, checking up on people that you do now.
Even now, it's like, how many people are married to serial killers? How many people are married to serial rapists? They actually have functioning lives until they're caught.
Yeah.
And then we're like, what?
They're like alcoholics, except they're ruining so many more lives.
Yeah. Although I think it's a little bit more obvious when you're an alcoholic, to be honest.
Yeah, there's like a smell that
it's more like an eating disorder. You like function and then you go off and do whatever your function.
You're eating, your disordered eating.
Which I know well. So it's like living a double life. You know what I mean? I think it's not as hard as we think. Yeah. And it's a good alibi and a good way to keep doing what you want to do by being like this Ken and Barbie couple. Like,
it's not
the weirdo on the corner. It's
it gets more fucked up. So I'm getting all of my information from this podcast, Morbid, that is very good. It's two girls in Boston, doing
which is why she loves it.
In-depth serial killer portraits, and then this article in the Canadian Encyclopedia. Thank you, Internet. So they get married
in there and all his various pictures that
I have no idea.
Don't want to say.
So yeah, he's the Scarborough rapist. He rapes all of these women. One eventually sees his face and like goes to the police and they like can describe him accurately, and so then they like actually have something to go on. But before this, on Christmas, 1990, I think they had just gotten married.
Yeah.
Like the year before. Like,
yeah, I mean, they're still in the newlywed
They're in their newlywed stage. Well, okay, so Christmas 1990.
It's so, because I know what's coming, and I'm just like, how is she going to spit this out?
It's so bad.
How do you do this?
It's so bad. So, through their relationship, Paul had, like, this creepy obsession with Karla's younger sister, Kitty. Or Tammy, not Kitty. Tammy. And he would, like, request that Karla dress up in her clothes and sort of, like, role play as her younger sister in, like, sexual situations.
Which, you know, I'm just gonna say is a red flag.
Like, just, it's not a So, they had, I think previously to this, they had, like, found a Jane Doe, a woman that Karla, like, knew from work, and brought her over and, like, played around with this, like, 3-person sort of rape scenario. And they drugged this woman, and she like, woke up the next day and had, like, no idea that she had been raped at all, which, like, terrifying.
It's not
horrifying.
Great.
Absolutely the worst thing ever. So, they had this, like, fucked up situation. Oh, and they filmed all of this. I don't know why, but they were like, these are fun snuff films.
Well,
for us.
because he wanted to watch it again.
That's
the reason.
I know, but it's all of, also, okay, so they film everything,
right.
like, all of the things that they do,
right.
but they never get the death on camera, so it can never be, like, fully attributed to one person
right.
or another. But so...
Although, just, like, logically, if that person is found killed after being brutally raped on camera...
But then they... Because both of them do the raping.
I know.
And then they both blame each other when they... Anyway, so... December...
It's not a happy marriage.
Christmas 1990. Well, they seemed happy. They're just doing really messed up things. No, they were engaged. Oh yeah, they were gonna get married like 2 weeks later or something.
Oh,
so they're like, Tammy, come hang out with us. We want to, like, hang out with you. And Tammy's like, oh my god, my older sister, because Tammy's like 15.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my god, yeah, I'd love to hang out with you and your cool boyfriend, who's not cool. He's a rapist.
He's not cool.
He's not cool.
And they're like, here, have some drinks.
Yeah, and they're like, oh my god. And she's like, oh shit. And it's like dosed with Valium. I think hers was dosed with something else.
But basically she's
But it was
drugged.
something she's drugged with something that Karla gets from the vet's office that she's like a part-time nurse at. And so Karla does Karla has no real knowledge of, like, how to dose any of these things.
Because she's used to dosing hamsters,
like, dogs and shit, yeah. And, like, not, like, a human being, which, like, weighs a different amount and, like, metabolizes totally differently and, like, isn't a dog.
When you're just, like, mixing alcohol and things
they don't work right.
Things.
So,
basically, don't drug
anyone.
Don't drug anyone, and don't drug your relatives, or especially your little sister who's like 15, and then rape her.
So they drug her. I think they're in the basement, or they at least bring her down to the basement. They set up this video camera, and they record themselves raping. And, like, brutally, like, both of them are raping Tammy. Yeah.
Horrible.
It's
horrible.
These are, like, it's just so
These
bad.
people are so
you can
bad.
find all this stuff on the internet, which is the worst, but, like, I did not watch any of it. I, found, like, one video on Reddit, and it was like, nope.
Like, a video of them? Actually?
Yeah, like one of their home video. Not one of the ones of them, like raping all, but, like, they do this. Tammy starts vomiting and like choking on her own vomit, and so they, like, freak out, get her dressed, and put her up in her room and call 911. And they're like, I don't know, she drinks too much. And then 911 comes, and they're like, well, I guess she drank too much. And
what's
like,
all this camera equipment?
Why
has she been violently raped?
What is it? It looks like she's been beaten. That's strange. Whatever.
She's just vomiting.
So she's pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. And the next night, Karla and Paul record this, like, fireside chat where they're, like, having sex and, like, talking about how sexy it was to, like, murder Tammy and, like, rape her and, like, all this shit. And, like, you can still find those videos.
Which you can find, but you can also just watch the movie, and I think they did it. I'm trying to think. I don't think it was super brutal, but it's brutal enough. Just what you see.
Yeah, it's a movie for.
Yeah, I don't even remember what.
Was it television or was it like a film in the movies?
I know that it was not well received in Canada, and if not banned, because relatives were
that makes
very
sense.
upset because it's very recent. I mean, not very recent.
No, but
recent.
this happened in
enough.
1990, so all of the parents of these girls.
It may be like a limited release. I don't actually remember.
That's fine.
But I do remember it took me a bit to find it, and then I found it. And now I own it. Because I think that was the only way to find it.
That sounds right.
So, not because I wanted to own it, you guys. Jesus Christ. Sometimes you want to see something and you're like, it's $15.
I might as well own it. That's how I ended up owning all the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
Sure, that's how.
They're so bad. They're really not good movies, guys.
Own them.
Because it was either rent it for $5 or buy it for $8, and I was like, well, why watch it one more time? Paid for itself. So next time we have a drinking night.
True crime. Just kidding.
No, the true crime is that weird Runaway Bride ending of the second one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Spider-Man. So that happens.
So they record like way too much of their lives, just personally.
They needed a reality show.
It's like
this is before reality shows.
They record so much of their lives, and it's really gross. But they keep doing this, and they're talking about how like Karla's like, ooh, I love like seducing these women, so that we can then go rape them and like.
Yeah, because that's like her MO. She like goes around and like she sees these young girls and she's so pretty and she's so like personable.
Yeah, she's trustworthy. Women will inherently trust other women because men are stupid and awful.
Yeah.
And she's like a pretty blonde woman. Like, how do you not trust a pretty blonde woman?
You don't.
So they unfortunately convinced this woman, Leslie Mahaffey, to come home with them. At this point, they've moved out of the Scarborough area, but funny enough, all of these rapes continue where Paul Bernardo just moved. It's so weird. What? It's like super strange how that happens.
That's insane.
I know, right?
I wonder who it could be.
I know. It's so crazy.
So insane. Yeah, their crimes are horrible.
They're terrible. So they continue to like do this to other women.
Their MO of finding a girl, bringing her back, them both raping and torturing and videotaping and doing all that shit is their whole thing, which we should remember for when they get caught. Let's just remember that. And if you ever get to see some of the clips of either the movie or some of the videotapes, just remember that look on all of their faces and then think about what they said.
So this girl's 14, and people find like parts of her body floating in this lake, and they identify her as this girl whose parents reported her missing. When they undertook the investigation, Paul and Karla were on their honeymoon in Hawaii. This is the girl that they murdered like 2 weeks before their wedding.
So they're just out in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, and they didn't ever investigate Tammy's death as a crime. It was just like negligence. It like
Which
wasn't
is so weird to me. Like, what did
there
you
wasn't
think
even
happened?
like any type of manslaughter. There was no like they didn't do any type of toxicology report. They were just like, oop, it was an accident. Oh well.
What did you accidentally do?
She just drank too much and choked on her own vomit. The end.
Alright. God, I don't even know how you as a parent, I can't.
Yeah, how you can continue existing?
No, just like, first of all, continue existing. And what, do you invite them over for Thanksgiving? Are you having Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
they're Canadian.
Yeah.
So they're not having Thanksgiving.
No, well, they do. It's in October.
Okay, but Christmas, they're having Christmas?
Yeah, no, they invite them over to like all of these holidays, and it keeps for some reason being that like they like murder these girls, and like 2 days later, like, oh, we gotta go to Karla's family's house for Thanksgiving or fucking someone's birthday or something. Yeah, it's really fucked up.
Those parents. Those poor parents. I can't even.
It's
I don't
so
even
bad.
know. I don't even know. I can't even.
So then the next murder happens in 1992, and it's Kristen French. And her body was found in a ditch along a road in some part of Canada. Burlington, but that means absolutely nothing to me.
Burlington, Canada.
Burlington, I'm guessing.
I know Burlington, Vermont.
Ontario.
But I don't know Burlington, Canada.
Anyway.
Sure. If you're Canadian, please let us know. That you're Canadian, not where that is.
Right. We really don't care where it is.
But we want to know that you're Canadian.
But I do care if you're Canadian.
Let's talk food team.
Please.
Always.
Yeah, so they had shaved her head because they thought that it would make her harder to identify for some reason. I like how that's what they went with. They didn't bash her face in, but they weren't like, let's remove all her teeth and cut her hands off.
Yeah, because
they
those
were like,
are actually the things that help identify.
let's shave her head.
Because people don't go like, oh, her hair.
Oh,
I know who that is.
That hair. I recognize that hair anywhere.
Smart criminals.
It would make sense for some. Like, I know some people with dreadlocks where, like, if they shaved their head, they are unrecognizable people. But like, this was just a blonde girl.
That
like a detective couldn't like
are gonna go, oh well, we lost a guy with dreads and this person's bald, so
it's not the same guy.
Let's move on. Let's not
Literally
at
different
all.
guy. I mean, Tammy Homolka choked on her own vomit. Accident. Case closed.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on. No toxicology needs to be happening.
Who needs it? So, the police immediately identified her because she was missing the tip of her left pinky finger, which was like a previous injury. So it was very easy to be like, oh, this is the girl that was like told missing,
reported missing.
Thank you.
Missing. You know what it is? It's
Brains are
unicorn
hard.
cereal. When you eat it,
your
you can't
IQ
say
goes
words.
down. It's so flavorless. It's really bad.
Mystics.
I don't even know what to do with it because making it into some sort of like.
Make it into like a Rice Krispie treat and bring it to somebody's house and just leave.
Just leave it there. Just leave. Just drop it.
Also, to our co-hosts out there, did you ever find the cereal?
Yeah, Zane. Report back.
We need to know.
I have interest.
We're never going to ask you in
interest.
person. We're never going to ask you in person. You have to listen to our podcast.
Okay. Yeah. So she had been reported missing. They found her dead body. Witnesses reported seeing her in a scuffle in the parking lot of a Lutheran church where one of her shoes was found.
So many problems right there.
I know. It appeared that two people were forcing her into a cream-colored Chevrolet Camaro.
Cream-colored car.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Whoever said that got it wrong, I think, and it wasn't a cream-colored.
But it's always white or cream-colored.
It's usually
never a red or green car or something.
No, because that's too noticeable, too identifiable. And cops use black cars for stakeouts.
Which means you would be like a cop. It's a whole thing.
That's true.
I'm not telling you how to kill people, sorry.
But yeah, it was a mistaken lead. Yeah, he had a gold Nissan. So.
That's still
What are you gonna do?
car.
Oh yeah. So the police got a tip that Bernardo was known for violent and aggressive sexual behavior. I don't know how that happens, but whatever. And they interviewed him on May 12th, and once again we're like, nah, he's not it, because I guess they had interviewed him.
They're like, but
before.
look at him, he looks like that.
He's so pretty.
Yeah. He's not that pretty though. He's not my type.
So the police finally connected the two murders, and we're like, oh, the beatings are similar, and the bruising and all of this stuff is similar. It's probably committed by the same people.
Dun dun dun.
Crazy. And by now it's like a media circus. This is like taken over Canada. It's 1993, and Karla Homolka goes to St. Catherine's Hospital after Bernardo beat her with a flashlight. So real healthy relationship there.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you murder people together and brutally rape them, that's a sign that you probably don't have a great relationship. Also, the fact that, like, you brought that to them. Like, if my husband was like, hey, honey, just so you know, I like to go out at night and brutally rape people. Could we invite your little sister?
Have you read the Thomas Middleditch, I think it's Esquire or GQ interview that came out recently? Oh my god. He doesn't talk, it's not raping and murdering people, but in it, he's like, yeah, so I got married, and then I was like, honey, this isn't gonna work. We have to do things unconventionally. And so now he's like a swinger, and he's like, but you don't call it swinging, it's called the lifestyle now. And I was like, you're a giant douchebag.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, how do people?
Like, you're such an asshole that you like. That's like after you get married is not the time to bring that up.
Well, actually, this was before they even got married, right? So like they started doing this stuff before.
Karla and Paul, yeah. But Thomas Middleditch.
But it's just I don't even know, like, what about you is like, yeah, let me, like, I hope I never have the face that's like, we should get, like, be serious about each other, and then one day you should just drop a bomb on me, like, by the way,
I'm a serial rapist.
I'm a serial rapist, and can you dress up like your sister?
Your younger sister?
No. I don't know what about me said that you could say that to me, but I'm telling you right now, you're wrong. You're wrong, and you're going to jail.
Yeah. It was a bad situation. Well, and like he had the textbook, like, bad childhood, like shitty family life, abused by his dad, like, just super, it sucked. So it's like, well, yeah, I kind of get that you felt like, you know, you needed to, like, take that power and, like, rape and do all the, like, I can understand that train of thought. But with Karla, it's like, you were just, like, a normal-ass human. Like, nothing wrong happened in your life. So, like, what went wrong in your brain?
Well, what she said went wrong in her brain is that she met him, and he was abusive and forced her to do all these things. I find that conflicting to seeing some of the footage. Yeah, so once Karla goes to the hospital for being beaten with a flashlight, Bernardo is arrested, and then DNA is taken, and they're like, oh shit, your DNA matches the Scarborough rapist DNA, now you have to go to, like, trial and jail and such, because you're a rapist. Right. And so Homolka originally was, like, pretty uncooperative with the police, but after she consulted her lawyer, she went back to the police, and this is where basically both of them are like, no, they made me do it. Yeah. And everyone's just pointing fingers at the other person, is like, no, this is not my fault. I was in this toxic relationship, and it was, like, their idea. And, like, that's just what both of them keep saying back and forth. Eventually, she gets sentenced to 2 10-year sentences to be served concurrently, I think. So they happen at the same time. So instead of serving 20 years, she just serves 10 years. And then she tries to get parole, like, several times and is denied. And at one point, she has less than a third of her sentence left and is like, no, I want parole. And the parole board's like, no, we're too worried you'll reoffend at this stage in your, like, rehabilitation. So that's inspiring confidence in everyone all around. I mean, it doesn't inspire confidence in me. Because she got 10 years.
She got 10 years for her involvement.
And then she was allowed to change her name. And
was she allowed to change her name? Because I thought that she wasn't. I thought she, like, tried to change her name, and then they were like, oh, no, sorry, she got 12 years because she got 2 years for her involvement in her sister's death.
Oh. Okay, well, maybe she didn't change her name, but she is a married woman with children.
Yes, she has 3 children now, and she tried to work on the PTA of one of her kids' schools, and then everyone found out who she was and was like, oh, fuck no, you can't ever step foot inside this school ever again. Yeah, she's like harassed all throughout Canada.
It's like Casey Anthony when she set up that freaking. Is it Casey Anthony?
Casey Anthony, the one who killed your daughter?
Yeah, she tried to set up. Oh God, it was like maybe like a year ago. She tried to set up on Facebook a photography business where she took pictures of children.
No.
Yeah, like portraits of children.
This is bad.
And everybody
ideas,
on
guys.
Facebook was like, "I'm sorry,
I'm not
fuck
doing
you.
that." No,
Fuck you.
Yeah, and so Bernardo gets at least one life sentence with like true life sentence, no possibility of parole because he is an aggravated inmate. I think that's the term. I could be wrong. Someone correct me. But basically he's on like this level of inmate that's like, no, he's too dangerous to like be anywhere but in prison. So he's still in prison, but she's not.
I find it so disgusting that she's out walking around, and I get it. She did get some abuse,
but
like on the grand scheme of things, I don't know.
There are videos. Like it's one thing to be like, I did it because I was being abused, but it's another thing to like be that into it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like it's either
you have to be the greatest actress in the world, and maybe you are, and I apologize if you were going through so much pain and abuse that you could,
or maybe it was I mean, I can see how it was some sort of like.
To me, that's like mass hysteria, like
punishment almost, where it's like she's feeling all of this abuse, and so now she feels good taking it out and like having
it's still like you're just
having like power. Well, yeah, but I'm just like trying to explain it.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's just like I think sometimes, and I've seen this in a lot of couple killers. It's like if they hadn't met each other, I'm not sure that any of this would have happened. But because it was just like this secret spice that like mixed together and just became like this fucking explosion of just horribleness.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they were gonna be like the greatest people in the world, but I think like her obviously like psychopathic, sociopathic nature. And his like already like abusive childhood and his already like doing these crimes together, it was like this sadistic like fun fucking game.
This combination, yeah.
And I'm sure they were abusive to each other. There's no way that people like that could be in a good relationship.
Oh,
it had to be high, low, high, low, low. And it's just sad that they met. It's really sad that they met. And I'm really sad that she is allowed to just walk around. I can't even imagine. Do her parents see her kid? I
have no idea. I don't know. I mean, think about who. Well, she also, while she was in prison, started a sexual relationship with a different inmate. So, like, she's just not well. She's not a well woman.
I mean, I would really like to hear some psychologists talk about her.
Oh, I would. That is a jailhouse interview that I would really enjoy.
I just want to know, like, do you think she's like what kind of disorders do you think? Like, what do you think? I need more about her because like I don't understand. Like I can't.
What drove her to?
Right. Some of these killers, you're like this means this.
Well, and like clearly there was
not excusing it, but this is like whatever.
Yeah, but like clearly there was remorse because they weren't like, oh well, I guess we'll just chop up my sister and dump her in a river somewhere. They called the police. Like they tried to like do something. Although they called the police and then they called back and were like, oh never mind. Oh no, that was a different girl.
Yeah. There
was a different, but like they never murdered because they liked murdering. It was always because they had just gotten too far in with this like weird, terrible sexual stuff that they were doing, which like really is worse than the murder.
Also, like if you're into this like sadistic,
there's plenty of places.
There's plenty of places and plenty of safe ways to
have those
that come out. You do not have to ruin somebody's fucking life to play out your fantasies. No. I will repeat this over and over again. There are plenty of people out there that will help you figure out what kind of sexual play you would like. You do not have to get an unwilling participant.
Please do not get an unwilling participant. Please only get willing participants.
Dude, if there's a guy out there that could find a guy to eat his dick, literally paid somebody to eat his dick, then not sexual partner that is willing to participate in things for you. Okay? And let's make him safe. Let's just do it safely, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my
PSA.
all.
That's really all.
No?
That's all you need. Because it's just...
I hate her so much.
It's so fucked up. It's just so messed up. And she was so involved in it that, like, there's no amount of, like... I just can't.
I can't imagine doing that to
another human being.
Anyone. But let alone my little sister?
That's where, like, it started. It was like, oh, we did it to my little sister, so, like, I guess we'll do it to other women.
That's
and
the
then
thing.
It became,
it was
like,
a trigger. It
women.
Wasn't a traumatic event. It was a trigger.
Which would be, like, a traumatic event, yeah. But
it didn't trigger, like, remorse or sadness.
Oh,
or whatever.
no.
What it triggered was, I want more.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And you can do this kind of cruelty, knowing you did extreme cruelty to this person, and maybe they accidentally died, but you were still doing some fucked up shit to your sister, and you can sit next to your mom? No. I don't even understand.
Yep.
Please explain it to me. Somebody explain. Just explain. Don't, like, come near me. If you know the answer, don't come near me.
Just scream really loud. Wherever you are, just scream
just a
really
nice
loud.
Anonymous email and never talk to me. Oh, God. So I'm going to say knife down for this murder.
Well, like, yes. All murder, as always, gets a knife down.
And all sexual assault, knife down.
Yeah.
And Canada, I mean, I'm a little knife on the table about your justice system, which we have gone over in our previous episode. A little bit. And then, knife down for the cereal in all forms.
Yes. Bad cereal.
So, yeah, but, you know, knife up for the unicorn name game. It's not great.
It's really bad.
But it's kind of fun that it's bad. You know? Like, let's do one of our co-hosts on One More Drink. Okay, so Blake.
Okay, so B, lemonade, and then March, lemonade, glitter blossom.
Legs are bad. I know you're listening, so you are lemonade, glitter blossom, which is different than bottom.
Like, so I just can't, because these month ones are just really awful. Like raindrop mist, which is P. What does that even mean? Raindrop, New York, what? Cloud jumper.
It kind of sounds like a really good sci-fi movie, though.
Crystal Dazzler sounds like a stripper.
I'm ready for my stripper name now. I mean, burlesque dancer. I don't know what we're supposed to call anybody anymore.
Snowflake dream.
I've always
nimble flower.
Oh no, I don't like nimble flower.
These are bad. That's
nimble
what I'm saying.
These
are bad.
Like somebody
it's
talking
uncomfortable.
about your. It's like somebody talking about your virginity or something.
Yes.
You're a nimble flower. No, clench for life. So that's our show.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, downloading, subscribing, etc.
Rating. Reviewing, do all the things.
Yeah.
And you know, like, contact us about pairings that you want to see, cereals you want to see, people you want to see. If you have any amazing insights about any of the things that we're talking about, we appreciate it, and we will give you a shout out if you so choose to share with us.
Yes.
And you can find us at podcerealkiller on all social media platforms. And,
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm Maria Spertolozzi once again. You can follow me on Twitter at Maria Immortal.
I'm Anastasia Washington, and you can follow me at Anastasia W on Twitter and at Anastasia Wash on Instagram, because I do the socials. Bye!